What's going on, everybody? It's Warren. Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder, where we talk all things Marvel and MCU. And today we have a lot of news in the world of Marvel. Some exciting, some concerning, but a lot to break down. We have news about Deadpool 3, good news about Deadpool 3, some news about Thor Love and Thunder, some possible news about the Fantastic Four in the MCU, some cool Black Panther 2 news, an interesting line from Marissa Tomei about the upcoming Spider-Man movies, and to top it all off, a bit of concerning news about Morbius. So if you're excited to see Morbius, or even if you're not, you're gonna wanna hear this. So let's break down everything that you need to know about all of this news that's come out in the recent past couple of days. And of course, if you love Marvel and you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest videos. So let's go ahead and start with Deadpool 3, because this is really cool news, really exciting news, and it honestly could be a very important point for Marvel Studios in this time. If you haven't noticed, Ryan Reynolds is kind of on fire right now, and he's kind of been on fire for the past few years. Well, for a pretty long time, and now it looks like he's about to take it one step further. As it's been announced and reported by an article with Forbes magazine about Ryan Reynolds and his companies, Maximum Effort and Mountain, it's been reported that Maximum Effort is going to co-produce Deadpool 3 with Marvel Studios. This is pretty big because we've only seen this before with Spider-Man, specifically, of course, Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Now, before everybody gets kind of concerned here about this arrangement, let me explain why it's actually a very good thing and kind of nothing like what's happened with Spider-Man. With Spider-Man, Sony had a lot of the power because they're the ones who own the rights to the character. So even though it was a partnership with Marvel Studios, Sony basically had the ability at any point in time to pull the character from the MCU and give Marvel Studios no right to use it at all. I'm sure everybody remembers a couple years back, the heart attack that Sony and Marvel Studios gave us when we didn't know if Spider-Man was going to be staying in the MCU or not because Sony and Marvel could not work out a deal. This is nothing like that, and there's no possibility of that happening because Marvel Studios owns the rights to Deadpool. But Maximum Effort is Ryan Reynolds' company, and it's actually fantastic that they are co-producing it because that means Ryan Reynolds is going to be even more hands-on with Deadpool than he's ever been before in the history of the franchise, which probably means this is going to be the best Deadpool film yet, especially if you actually consider the updates that we've gotten for Deadpool 3. It's been announced that director Sean Levy is going to be directing Deadpool 3, and he just recently got done directing Free Guy, which of course starred Ryan Reynolds as well, and The Atom Project that is now out on Netflix, which is also a pretty fantastic movie. This is also good news on the rated R front. Now that Maximum Effort is co-producing the movie, I have no doubt that this movie is going to be rated R. Also, Ryan Reynolds himself is helping write the script. And Ryan Reynolds had stated before that he actually wants to be more hands-on with Deadpool with the future movies. And it looks like that is exactly what Marvel Studios is letting him do, which is absolutely fantastic. Kevin Feige truly does know what is best for movies. And in this case, I think everybody would agree the best thing is to let Ryan Reynolds kind of just handle it. But that's not all the good news that comes with this co-production. Ryan Reynolds stated in the Forbes article that Deadpool 1 and Deadpool 2 really didn't have that big of a budget. So they had to make the most out of something very little, in which they absolutely did. Deadpool and Deadpool 2 were fantastic. But now Deadpool is over at Marvel Studios, and it's being co-produced by Ryan Reynolds' company. So needless to say, this movie is going to have a bigger budget than the previous two films, which means they can do a lot more. So all in all, without even knowing anything about what the story could possibly be for Deadpool 3, Deadpool 3 is looking pretty good right now. Deadpool is over at Marvel Studios now, so he's in the MCU and can interact with all of these other characters, break the fourth wall about all of these other characters. He's got the money to back him up now. We have an amazing director for Deadpool 3, and Ryan Reynolds himself is super hands-on. So hopefully Deadpool 3 is the best Deadpool that we've gotten so far. Now moving on to Thor Love and Thunder and the Fantastic Four. There have been rumors going around that Null would appear in Thor Love and Thunder. Null is essentially the symbiote god. He created the symbiotes, and he also created the all-black sword. Now, eventually, Gore the God Butcher would go on to get the all-black sword, and he would actually take it from Null, as Null got into a fight with another god, fell to his planet, and was about to die. So naturally, it would actually make sense that Null, the creator of the symbiotes, would be in Thor Love and Thunder, since Gore the God Butcher originally gets his sword from Null. But it looks like this might not be happening, as somebody from the Geeks Worldwide, KC Walsh, has apparently debunked this rumor, stating no on Twitter. Now, keep in mind, anything is possible, and they are doing reshoots right now. But remember, Sony does still have Venom and all of the symbiotes over there, so I wouldn't really be expecting a symbiote story in the MCU quite just yet. That is not a Spider-Man related story. But hopefully in an upcoming Spider-Man film, especially with the tease in the post-credit scene for the Venom symbiote, we eventually do get a Null story. And hopefully that's the next story we get in Spider-Man 4. But here's some interesting news about the Fantastic Four. Now, of course, we've all been waiting for a very long time now to know who is going to be playing the members of the Fantastic Four. And of course, everybody really wants John Krasinski to play Mr. Fantastic. I do as well. I think it would be a great choice. There's been rumors that he might appear in Multiverse of Madness as a variant, but perhaps not actually play the real Mr. Fantastic that is coming to the MCU. And of course, there have been rumors that he has already been cast as Mr. Fantastic in the MCU. There's conflicting reports out there, but the latest comes from the Twitter account Viewer Anon, in which this person has been right about things in the past. This person tweeted a while ago in January that he heard Mr. Fantastic is in Multiverse of Madness, but it's not going to be played by Krasinski. However, yesterday he tweeted stating, "I think it's Krasinski. I've talked to a few people since who are pretty sure." So we could be seeing John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic in the MCU in Multiverse of Madness. However, we still don't know if this is simply going to be a variant and John Krasinski isn't going to be playing the main MCU Mr. Fantastic, or if he's going to be the main Mr. Fantastic. Now, he could be both. Variants do exist that look exactly like each other, and that could simply be the case here, but right now it's all just rumors. But fingers crossed that he does play the main MCU Mr. Fantastic, because I think it would be a spot-on casting choice. Now we have some interesting news about Black Panther 2. Angela Bassett today was on the Ellen DeGeneres show, and she briefly talked about Black Panther 2. Now, of course, Angela plays Ramonda, Queen Ramonda, and mother of T'Challa, Black Panther. Of course, everybody has been wondering what the story is going to be for Black Panther 2, especially since they stated they are not going to recast T'Challa/Black Panther. So people are kind of concerned and are wondering what the story is going to be, but here's what she said on the show. She said that the sequel is going to be even bigger than the first one, and she called Ryan Coogler, the director of the first one and the second one, the perfect leader. She said, and I quote, "It's going to be amazing. It's going to top the first one. Can I say that?" So right here, Angela Bassett stated that Black Panther 2 is going to be better than Black Panther 1, which is very interesting considering that we might not actually have a Black Panther throughout the entire film. Keep in mind, Kevin Feige said they're not recasting T'Challa. He didn't say that there's not going to be another Black Panther. There are several people that the Black Panther title could fall to, such as Shuri, M'Baku. Heck, they could even bring in a variant of Black Panther himself or Killmonger. So we could get a new Black Panther, just not a new T'Challa. Now, some of the story for Black Panther 2 is that Namor the Submariner and Atlantis are going to be in the film and be a pretty decent plot point. And rumors had it for a while that actor Tenoch Huerta is going to be playing Namor. And what's very interesting is that right now he is currently filming in Puerto Rico where Black Panther Wakanda Forever is shooting. So it does seem like we have our Namor in Tenoch Huerta. And the very last thing I want to state today is about Morbius. Nick Santos from the hashtag show tweeted this today. "I've seen a nearly final cut of Morbius. It's a messy film, doesn't know what universe it's in or what characters it coexists with. It definitely isn't the well-oiled machine that the MCU is. Some people will like it, but for most, it's going to be hard to get behind." So not such good news here for Morbius, and this is honestly what I feared about the movie. Hopefully, it'll be somewhat well put together, and hopefully it'll be entertaining, but I am kind of worried now. But let's just wait and watch it to see what we think about it. In the meantime, let me know what you think about all of this exciting news in the comments down below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe so you can stay up to date on all things happening with Marvel. For live updates, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.